shape.
Yourself, right?
I'm IFBB Pro Bryan Balzano. I am 33 years old, 5'4", currently weighing 219 pounds.
Okay, and you're 6 weeks out from the show, right?
Yeah, about 6 weeks, 4 days today.
Okay. So you're doing the Indy. What actually, I'm just curious about, I don't know if you talked about this, what made you decide to do the Indy as opposed to a different one? Just location or?
Pretty much so it's location travel, and like COVID at the time, or like still hasn't ended. Like it's coming to a close now, but like you don't know what's gonna happen. So it's like Indianapolis is 2 hours and 45 minutes from Columbus. I don't gotta fly. I don't have to worry about anything. It's just kind of like it's a straight shot. So it just kind of made the most sense that it's right there. It's first of the year, kind of like we were already ready, and my coach, like Justin Compton, he didn't really want to wait any longer. He's like, I think it's time to attack now. So we're just kind of like, why not do it again? It just makes most sense, and like try to book plane tickets, and then like, if things get shut down again, which you can't predict. So it just kind of made more sense. Like there was no reason to not do the show.
Yeah, and that makes, and you don't have to travel as far as order food and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then like, going to the airport with like a luggage of frozen food, that's a bit stressful. Whereas like I can just throw it in a cooler, drive 2.5 hours, and throw it in the fridge.
Yeah.
That's just easy.
So everything, or do you?
Yeah, so pretty much like everything I do, like every muscle is almost exactly the same each and every week. I very rarely change anything up. Maybe occasionally, like in the off season, I'll try new stuff to see if I like it. But for the most part, it's the same 3 or 4 exercises. And my style of training is very kind of unorthodox, I would say. Like my blueprint of how I approach the gym is I choose 3 main exercises, and I do each one for an hour. And that's kind of how it is. I just I keep going till I can't do it anymore. Then once that movement's done, the next one. So it comes out to about 3 hours long per workout, 3 exercises, and each one might be like, I don't count the warm-up sets. Like once I find the weight that works, I'll do, I don't know, like 10 plus sets. I don't really have a number. I just go on feel. When my body tells me that it cannot physically do that movement anymore, that's when I know to move on. So most people tell me that's like crazy. That's what I do, but it works. I find like a medium weight, and I try to do between 10 and 15 reps. That's what I think is the sweet spot for building muscle on my physique.
Okay, and there's no so then there's no I reach this weight and do this many sets. It's just how you feel it basically how you go.
Yeah, and it's like prep off season, it does not matter. The style of training, the rep range, the intensity, it's all the same. Like the only thing that changes between growing and getting lean is just the food, the amount of food that I'm eating. Like it's the same food sources, everything. Everything is the same. Training and diet, it's just how much carbs and fats I'm eating compared to in season and off season.
How about movements actually? But will you switch it up like this week you'll do this, next week you're not going to do that movement, or do you play that by ear, or no?
They got that. Must have been the last thing.
You do it all in one day.
Get up! Short one rep. Damn. We're getting it. Might be the last set here. I'm gonna do one lower set, but I'm losing energy fast.
Yeah.
I might need extra amino energy.
I saw your post say about the monster or whatever.
Yeah. I like that one little can while I train, so while I work. Just kind of, I want to keep my caffeine lower, but I just I can't get fired from my job. No, yeah, it's the exact same one. So like there was like some change. So, like on back day, I always started with lat pull downs and then went to like machine rowing. But this time, like I need a little bit more thickness in my back. So like after the show I did last year, the Indy Pro, I focused more on starting with rowing and then ending with lat pulls. So I'll make adjustments here and there, but for the most part, like since like 2 weeks after the show, that's been the same 3 or 4 exercises that I've done each week until now, and it will not change.
And what's your split, bud, for like how's your week broken up for?
So currently, Monday is back, Tuesday is shoulders, Wednesday is legs, Thursday's off, Friday's chest, Saturday's arms, and Sunday's ham and glutes.
Okay. Are those set up in a specific order for a reason or anything, or is that just how you pick those days?
That's just like for my job, I have a real job. I work for Chase Bank. So I like having one day off during the week to kind of recook food. So like I like my off day that way. So like I can cook Sunday, get me through Wednesday night, and then use Thursday to recook to get me to Sunday. So then like Friday, I don't got to worry about cooking. But then Saturday I can like sleep in and get all the naps that I needed, and then Sunday cook so I can stay on track. But like that's pretty much the reason why. But previously, before we made my pro debut last year, like I always liked to work out Monday through Friday and take Saturday and Sunday off. I liked having my weekends off. Like to me, an off day is no work, no training. So like I know people will like be like, like they get bored on the weekend, but to me, like when I still got to go to work, and even I don't work out, like I'm exhausted. Like to me, an off day is physically and mentally. And if I still have to go to work, like my mind is blown. I can't rest. I can't let my body sleep. So then, but like Justin, he did not like me having 2 off days back to back. And he'd be like, I don't really want that. But I'm like, dude, this is what I need. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it. But in prep, he was like, he's like, all season, that's fine, 5 days a week and 2 days off. But when we get in prep, he's like, you need to work out 6 days a week and have 1 off day. So I do listen to that. But when it comes to off season, I got to have my 2 off days.
That's cool. I get that. You don't want to, I could say it's like, it's not an off day if you go to work. Like,
Yeah, it's just it's like I don't hate my job, but like it's just like it's exhausting. I'm reading documents all day long. It's mentally I am just like by the end of it, dude, my mind is just blown. I'm reading so much legal documents. I'm like, all right, like I just need to lay down and just go to bed for like.
right? Or you could like if you needed to.
Yeah, so like there's ups and downs to it. So like it made my life easier to bodybuild because I had no boss around. I didn't have to drive to work. I could get more sleep. I didn't have to worry about getting dressed and doing my hair and like looking professional. Just wake up, eat breakfast, get on my computer, like make my meals right in my kitchen. If I had to throw something in the air fryer really quick, I could. I could like finagle my day a lot easier. But then also like I'd say like once again, you live a very isolated life as a bodybuilder. And so then when you work from home and like you have no human contact at all. And like at the gym here, like I take shit serious. Like I don't want conversation. I don't want people like this is a job to me. So it's like over time, man, it starts to play with you mentally that like you don't like you kind of appreciate that like office banter and kind of going around. And like now that it's not there and it's never coming back because we got approved for work from home forever, which is nice. But like I don't know, man. I feel like I would like to have someone there to talk to and just be like, hey, like look at this file. But like it's just me. So that I don't know what I would do. I feel like off season I would very much like to go back to the office just to kind of feel more human again. But I don't know if I actually would go back if we had to. I do like the freedom of like if I need to take a half hour nap and I just like tell my boss, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. I just like they don't find out. But like I'm still hitting my numbers. I'm like, I'm going to go lay on my bed for half hour. I'm like, sorry, I was taking a poop. And they're just like, so that's a very good perk to have.
Yeah.
It's like,
Some people have a job where like my friends who are bodybuilders and like some of them have to travel. And
Yeah.
It sucks. Like the one guy's the sales rep and his boss is with him. And he's like, I can't pull out my chicken and be like, or he wants to go for lunch and I can't say I'm going to prep. I can't, so
Yeah.
it's awkward.
And even like, so like, even at my position, like my direct boss, my VP, so my VP was my actual hiring boss who hired me 11 years ago. So they both know me from then, like they know who I am. So like they never even gave me any issue when I was at Chase. Like they knew when I wasn't at my desk, I was in the break room eating my meal. So like they were cool with it. So I was still lucky enough to have a job where my actual management crew, they respected what I did and they just left me alone because I was a good worker and I've always hit my numbers. I produced more than, like, I think like last year in COVID, I was in the top 2% of production. So like I'm good and I'm the youngest person on the floor, so I'm the cheapest paid. So that, you know, I'm doing more loans at less cost for them. So that's what they want. But yeah, so I've never really had an issue with my job in general with being a bodybuilder. Everyone's respected what I needed to do as long as I did my job good.
Okay, and that's the way it should be. It's not
Yeah.
outside thing. It's not like you're interferes with your job or anything.
Yeah, you know, it's I just, you do you, I'll do me. We're both happy. If I hit numbers at the end of the month, let's go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Awesome. How did you meet Compton, bud? How'd that relationship start?
So I went to college at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, and obviously it's a very big party school, drinking, and there was like 3 kids. Like every Friday night, it was me, this guy named Jamin, and I forget the other guy. Like us 3 at the gym, like working out. We didn't drink, we didn't party, we didn't do anything. Jamin was already a client of Justin, and he was always trying to get me to compete. He's like, bro, you have great genetics. You need to get on stage. And I was like, like I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to go to college and get a degree. Like I want a real career. Like to me that wasn't like a way of making money. This was like a hobby. So after I graduated college, like we were chatting again. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of like, you know, people are harassing me in Columbus. Like I should get on stage. And I'm like, you know, I don't know if I should. And he was like, you should. And he was like, I'll get you in touch with my coach. Because he was the only person I trusted. If I wasn't going to do anything, he was a damn good athlete. He was just like me in how unrelentless he was at attacking the weights and taking it serious, like his diet. And so he was like, you know, hey, like he was the one who opened the door for me. I'm not even sure Justin would have even taken me because at the time, like, I was still like in my Guido phase. So, like my Instagram was pretty douchey. And like I didn't really have anything. I was just kind of like dressed up and like he had to like send him like my profile and stuff and like vet me in a way. And I'm like, he's not going to accept me because like I was an athlete, but like I guess like he put in a word of like, he was like, this kid has crazy genetics. Like you need to take it. And sure enough, he did. And we did magic. Yeah, so like, you know, in 2014, we won the first show, and then in a matter of 78 days, we went pro. So I think Justin saw the potential in me, even though that I really didn't have any type of a athletic background per se on my social media.
Yeah, you weren't like a football player, wrestler.
No, I never. All I did was I ran track in high school.
Actually, so tell people like what you weighed, because I would.
Oh yes.
Because that's insane to me.
So I graduated high school at 104 pounds.
That's not 140.
You know, 104. I was smaller than an anorexic schoolgirl. Like, yeah, dude, it was like, I mean, like, dude, like, I don't think you can find anyone that weighs 104 pounds. That, like, was that like 16? Is that what that would be around? Like, I mean, that's like, dude, that's a skinny person. Like, dude, like, no one would have guessed I even had any bit of genetics to do anything. And I don't know, man. I started working out, and then next thing, like, everyone was like, "What the hell happened to you?" I was like, I found what I was meant to do.
Buy your killer blast or something.
It's like, I remember back then, when like I really took off, there was something called Spawn. It was like, you know, like that was when like pro hormones like were really big back then. And Phenaflex, like the original Phenaflex. I remember, dude, that was I took that, dude, like everyone went nuts. I don't know, like, dude, like that was when I first found out that like my body hyper responded to things. Like it was just nuts. And that was it. Like I was hooked. I went from first year after high school, I went from 104 to 130, which is like percentage wise, that's a very big like weight jump. And then slowly I kept going up. I hit 150. End of sophomore, end of junior, I was 180. And then I remember the start of senior year, like midway through, it was like the end of like winter, I think it was. It was like I finally hit 200 pounds. So it was like in a matter of 4 years, I went from I went from 104 and went to 200 pounds. Yeah. But like I wasn't eating clean then. Like I was in college. We had the dining halls. I was slamming chicken tenders, and I'm a Chipotle and Subway were like my go-to all the time, and just eating French fries. So like, but as like, yeah, I had very good genetics. Like even when I ate that, I never retained water. I didn't look fat. I didn't look bloated. So but once I graduated college, that's when I took things serious because now I had money, I could take control of my diet. But back then, like you're in college, like I'm trying to chase my dreams, but I have a budget and I'm in a bunch of debt from getting student loans. So.
That's cool, man. Good for you too for finishing college. And you're a pro bodybuilder. That's great. I applaud you for it, man. That's awesome. But
anyone out there, if you are trying to be a bodybuilder, please go to college. Have a backup plan. Like, do not rely on this sport to make you income. Like, you should have a true source of income to rely on and use this dream as maybe an additional source on top. But do not slack in going to school or stopping that because it's interrupting your bodybuilding career. Please do not do that. That's a terrible idea. Yeah, it's like if you're Phil Heath or Nick Walker, like those are very two exceptions. Like, you're more than likely you're not them. Like I'm not them. And so it's like, and I have some pretty good genetics. So it's like, don't rely on this sport to give you what you want. Create what you want, and then use this to be like, as like, once you've earned it and you start pulling more income in. But like, even when this ends, like you need to have a way to make money post bodybuilding. So like, be smart out there. Don't be stupid and like leave your job or quit school because you have to eat your meals. You can't be a bartender or a stripper forever. Like you need some real money, like some retirement, 401k, something to kind of like roll you into actually trying to retire. Yeah, no one cares. So that's a great skill to have. Can you use PowerPoint?